Happy New Year, boys, and we've got a lot to get.
Happy New Year. Great to be here. Fired up for the new year.
Yeah, everybody's fired up. We're hoping for that tailwind, that there's this optimism since November that 2025 will have a tailwind effect, that the economy will feel better for more. And in particular, the real estate market, what we pay attention to, what we talk about here on this show each and every Saturday live at 11 a.m., is that the markets will start to thaw out. We've been in a real estate recession. Homeowners don't feel it because they see, particularly in Connecticut, their home values continue to go up in really big, chunky percentages every single year. But for those that are on the other side trying to buy a home, the market is very difficult. There is a recession in transactions. There is a recession in the way we look at rates. Rates are much higher, and when you couple that with the higher prices, that creates an affordability issue. So we've got a lot. We're going to start with rates. We've got some CHFA news on what the rate will be for 2025. Some of the outlooks of where we're starting this year versus last year after 3 Fed rate cuts. We're going to start there. We've also got on this show Zillow's 10 most popular cities of 2024. What that might mean for 2025. Connecticut was dancing all over the list on Zillow's top 10. And we'll get into which of those locations made the top 10. We have migration patterns, some news. We cover this usually almost every year. Some of this might shock you. Atlas Van Line's migration pattern study was just released. So where are people moving to now? So don't get skewed by historic data. And then we did it last week, but we can wrap up on, now that it's past January 1 here, we're on January 4, we can look at full end of year statistics for your Connecticut real estate market. But we've got the mortgage guy, the finance guy. If you need some money, if you need some cash, you call Brian Skelly or you go to scheduleloanappointment.com. We've got him with us. We've got some CHFA news. We should explain what CHFA is, what that rate's going to be, or what that loan limit, rather, not the rate. We don't know what the rate will be exactly, but the loan limit for CHFA for 2025 and where we're at entering the year on rates, Skelly.
All right. So, jumping into the CHFA news, it's a small win, but these small wins do add up when you're in the face of, housing affordability issues. We'll take the wins where we can, and it's timely because it was just announced effective January 1st, 2025, this week. CHFA increased their sales price limits. So what is CHFA? To start with, it is a first-time home buyers in Connecticut program. It stands for Connecticut Housing Finance Authority. They've been around for a long time. It's a state bond program where the state basically helps first-time buyers buy a home. They do that by offering some very attractive rates and some excellent down payment assistance programs, which we've talked about some on some of the shows in the past. But if you're a first-time buyer, you can get a lower payment with CHFA most of the time, and you can also get down payment assistance. So if you need 100% financing, it's one of the best programs out there. If you're eligible, they have a lot of restrictions. There's an income limit, and it's one of the only programs that has a sales price limit. So when you're talking about an FHA loan or your standard conventional loan, they have loan limits, the amount of the loan you can get, but you could still buy, $1 million house with a CHFA, you can buy $1 million house with a FHA loan or a conventional loan, as long as you're under their loan limits, the amount that you're borrowing. CHFA is unique in that it has a sales price limit. So the actual price of the home cannot be more than the sales price limit. And this week, as of January 1st, they've increased it. It's by county, and pretty much all counties outside of Fairfield County, they increased it from $506,000 to $537,000. So that does help. As homes get more expensive, if somebody was looking at a home that was $525,000 a month ago, they wouldn't have been able to get a CHFA loan on that house because it was over the sales price limits.
Skelly, does this apply the same way like a jumbo loan does, where say the home is listed at, let's just use an easy number here, $600,000, but you're going to put that difference of $63,000 down would it then still qualify for CHFA, or is the threshold 537?
So that's the part that's different.
Yeah.
So it's the purchase price on the contract. It has to be less than that amount. So you know, in most of Connecticut, you cannot buy a $600,000 house with a CHFA loan. There are a few exceptions. In Fairfield County, the limit is $650,000. And in some target areas, if you happen to be in certain neighborhoods or certain neighborhoods in urban areas in some of the cities, they do allow you to go up to the 650. They have the maps available on CHFA.org, which is their website, or you can schedule a call with me to review the towns that you're interested in. My website is scheduleloanappointment.com if you want to talk about it and review it. But it's, you know, every little bit helps. And so I'm pleased that more people will be eligible for this program. I remember earlier in my career, doesn't seem like that long ago, probably 10 years ago. I think it was under 400 not too long ago. It used to be like 395 for a long time. So that's a win. We'll take it.
All right. CHFA home ownership with the Connecticut Housing Finance Authority is hopefully creating more opportunities here for more buyers in a very tight, difficult market. Market might even be tighter for buyers, Skelly. We had an interest rate in 2024, January 1st, at a particular number, and a number that people actually thought was going to go down. It did not, and we're starting the year at a different number this year. What are the differences there?
Yeah, so, you know, this was a year that when we were doing our first year of the show in 2024, we were looking at all the forecasts, what everybody was saying, the Mortgage Bankers Association, National Association of Realtor, Fannie Mae, some of the big major banks. Pretty much everybody was predicting massive decreases in interest rates, and it did not happen. Rates actually first day of 2025 were higher than they were on the first day of 2024. According to Mortgage News Daily, average 30-year fixed on the first day of 2024, 6.70. On the first day of 2025, 7.07. So, and this is despite the fact that we had 3 rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. So it's kind of counterintuitive to what a lot of folks might expect. And after the break, we'll get into some of the reasons why that happened.
Yeah, you don't see the federal target overnight borrowing rate does not directly impact the 30-year fix. We talk about it often, but it's the 10-year that more so impacts the 30-year. So 2025 30-year fix starting higher than 2024. Consensus from this year's projections, whether they'll be right or not, is that it'll get, you know, somewhere into the mid 6s, maybe even 6.25 range as an average throughout the year, which means we would be trending down. You can't bank on that, just like you saw last year. Okay, still a lot to come. We'll get into finish off the rate discussion. We've got migration patterns that are out here as we start 25. Zillow's 10 most popular cities. A recap on the 2024 Connecticut real estate market, and a major announcement that we've been teasing forever will come at the end of the show. Finally in 2025, we'll give the 94 Niners a little something. You're listening to Real Estate Radio, 94.9 News Now, stimulating talk.